So welcome back, this is my Walstad tank. We're in our second week and I'm starting to let the cycle do its own thing. I've stopped water changing as much, but I want to ask you a question. Well, it's a question that plays on my mind. Now, obviously I've set this Walstad method tank up, but there's an agenda behind it, because as anyone who's been watching the channel for a while knows that I set the channel up when I got back into fish keeping, and obviously everything's been a bit disjointed with my hobby since I've come back in, because I've been trying new things out and maybe getting fish and taking them back to the shop once they've grown out a bit, making a little bit of money here and there, whatever. But I've been interested in like dirted planted tanks and stuff, and I've been interested in plants in general and fish, but they haven't kind of mixed. The thing that I am interested in though is kind of combining my passion for plants with kind of like the Walstad method type of thing, where the plants are absorbing the nutrients of the fish waste. And I'd like to find, like, I'm not saying that dirt's the right answer, I'm just using it as a starting point, but I'd like to experiment and kind of evolve. So I set these two tanks up here, and the plan for these was to get this male and this female angel in the top tank. This tank, I've just filled it up for now, and then I'm going to clean it all off, drain it, fill it back up. But the original plan was to get them in here and get them breeding. But the problem is, once that's done, I was going to empty this and Walstad this. But there's a lot of people local to me who are pumping out tons and tons of angelfish, so they're getting to the point now where people are giving them away and stuff like that. And that's not something I'm really interested in, breeding fish that you've got to give away. I'm thinking, here's my overall thought. Like, so obviously I was saying I'm going to get this empty, I'm going to Walstad this, I'm going to dirt it, get it all planted up with these plants. Obviously all these plants have transitioned. I've lost like one crypt, the rest of them seem to be doing alright. But the likes of this Alodeodensa and the Vallisneria, it's absolutely flying in here. Look, the Val's just sending out runners all over the place. There's just runners of Val everywhere, so it's doing well. That's what I want to do. I want to build a tank that's self-sustaining, loads of new growth. Vallisneria and Alodeodensa. This is Alodeodensa here. Like, I started off with a couple of little 6-inch pieces of it. You can see the brown dot where I cut it, and these are stems that have grown out, and these stems come right along, which is 3 foot curve, and go back that way. They're like 4 or 5 foot long. But I want to kind of make tanks that are self-sustaining. I'd love to not even have filters in them, and I'd like to tie something in with that, a fish, or maybe a couple of fish that would do well in those types of tanks. And I don't know, like my own type of fish that I can breed and no one else is breeding. I've got a lot of thinking to do on that. It's something that a fish that I really appreciate, I'd enjoy breeding. And something quite difficult that no one else is breeding. I've got this tank, and if we look on there, see all them little black dots next to the snail, there's tons on there. This tank's absolutely full of scuds, and it's made me come to the conclusion I'm going to have to strip this down. Yeah, guys, look, peppermint there, there's one there, and there's one there, so there's 3. It's the most I've seen out in one go for a while. But the scuds, they're absolutely nailing the plants. Look, they're stripping all the leaves, and they're doing it on everything. Look at the Alternatheria at the back. This is what happened to my Walstad tank. The population exploded and they stripped it all out. But the dilemma I've got is I've just got me blues starting to breed, so I'm going to have to grow these blues out, strip this tank down, and I want to do something with this tank. I want to try and find a fish that's quite, I want to fish with some body. I don't just want nano fish. I've never been a fan of nano fish really. Like, I want to incorporate all these things. Look at all these shrimp. Now obviously I started off with 10 shrimp, didn't I, in like October. So you can see the amount of cherry shrimp I've bred, and they're all up here as well. There's absolutely tons of babies, and there's more Alodeodensa. I started off with like 4 stems and it's absolutely exploded, but I kind of want to strip this tank down as well because it's absolutely full of Java fern that I was given. Like the whole tank's full of it, and I kind of want to get rid of all the stuff that doesn't look very good and like get all the bits that are looking healthy. There's tons of bits. There's well enough healthy bits to get a tank going with it. Like all this stuff here, I haven't planted that. It's just bits. That's why I always leave bits at the top of the tank, because they just explode. But these are things, look, there's just so I want to kind of invent my own philosophy on fish keeping. I want a philosophy for me that I enjoy, with fish that I enjoy, and I'm kind of toying with the idea of going with rainbows and celestial pearl danios and cories, and there was a few other bits that I had in mind. But I want to play with ecosystem, like setting up self-sustaining tanks where I'm not compromising anything for anything. Look, there's buried females. There's buried females all over the place in tiny little shrimp plates. I've got a few really shrimp, and I'm getting my blues to the point where they're doing the same. But I kind of want to strip the colonies down, set it up so I've got 2 colonies and breed them out again. So I've got a backup colony. But as I was saying, I want to come up with some sort of self-sustaining aquariums with a species of fish that I enjoy breeding, and I want to try and breed it out and give myself a challenge. But I want to work in like species of plants that I like and stuff that'll do well in like an ecosystem and it's resilient. And I'd like to play with substrates. I've got gravel in here, I've got sand and akadama and lava rock in here, I've got sand and gravel in here, and I just want to kind of figure out my own substrate. I don't know whether it's soil or what, but I'd like to figure out how to make an aquarium self-sustaining and not have such a small fish load, like play with it so I can set up something a bit more extravagant. So my plan is I'm going to have to strip this tank down, get all the plants out, get them in quarantine. Go guys, that's where I'm up to. I'm trying to think of something unique. I'm not claiming, I don't want to set up my own method or anything. I just want a style of aquarium that is associated as unique to me, to people who watch the channel. So it's fresh content that no one else is doing, and I want to keep fish that people associate with me. Like I always associate like puffers with Corey from Aquarium Co-op, and stingrays and arowana, I always associate them with Joey, and obviously there's different channels you associate different fish with, and I always see them as unique to that channel. Although other people keep them, I always associate them with that channel, and that's what I want to try and do, is kind of come up with my own you know, unique things that people associate with me, like a unique style of an aquarium. Obviously I'm a big fan of getting with the filtration and stuff, so let me know what you think guys, give me a bit of input. Like I'm interested in ideas because I'm kind of toying with ideas. Obviously shrimp, I want to be a big part of my hobby, and I want a fish that I can breed that's like unique to me. I've been playing with the idea of rainbows, and obviously I've been looking at Boastmania, and I've had precox. But there's some other types that I've been looking at that I think are rare. I'm not sure whether they are, but it's a unique fish, and if I had ecosystem aquariums, I could drop all these, like I could catch the fish out of the tanks with the parents and put them in their own tank and let the tank and the fish mature, and I think it's cool. And then maybe move some on and put some in with the parents and just keep line breeding them. Give us some input guys, take care.